Okay, so we have been talking about being a slave and how we're going to serve God. When you're a slave, remember, you got to sign the title deed of your life over to Him. And think about this. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, who are you going to choose to serve? Because if you don't choose to serve Christ, you are choosing to serve someone. Usually that someone is yourself. But even if you don't consciously make a decision to serve, you are still making a decision to serve. And then you become like the walking dead. You're walking around with no purpose. You don't know what you're doing. You have to decide to be a slave. Then you also need to choose to be an ambassador. You need to know that you are a sent one with a message. And keep in mind that He tells us that you are saved by the power of the Holy Spirit that raised Christ from the dead. Have you thought about that? The power that raised Christ on the third day is the power that is living and dwelling inside you, giving you the wisdom and the guidance and the energy to accomplish what God asks you to do for that day during your life journey. And then today in our service we talked about the verse, and I want to read this one to you as we go through. He says, and this is very popular, "For I am not ashamed of this good news about Christ. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes, the Jew first and also the Gentile." This good news tells us how God makes us right in His sight. This is accomplished from start to finish by faith. As the scriptures say, it is through faith that a righteous person has life. The people that I'm ministering to, like you, I believe when Paul says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ," I don't believe you're ashamed of God. I think what really has happened is that you're discouraged, you're confused, you're misplaced, you're hurt, and you're angry, but you're not ashamed. And so what we want to do is encourage you in the scriptures to get that encouragement to choose to wake up and live for Him every single day. Because remember, faith is accomplished from start to, or our walk, and the gospel is accomplished from start to finish by faith. And a lot of us have lost that faith. But it is time to live and to walk, choosing to be slaves, choosing to be ambassadors, living with the power of the Holy Spirit within us, the power that raised Christ from the dead, because we're not ashamed of the gospel. We're confused and we're discouraged, but we need to finish our walk that started by faith in God, and you can do it. Tomorrow, wake up and choose to serve God.